Hey guys, so we're K.I.S.S, the Kennesaw Improv Society. Stupid. So we're gonna just cut loose a little bit. We're gonna tell a story for you guys. Now, we're gonna tell a story in a very specific way though. This is called a tap out story. So I'll be talking and I'll be telling a story about a fish that I caught.
One day as I was in my boat, on a placid lake, and as soon as I caught this fish,
I jumped out and wanted to fish it up and fry it up. And so someone tap me out.
Okay, so the fish granted a wish when I cooked and ate it. We get it. All right.
Let's do it.
So can I get a suggestion from the audience? Any old word. Potato. All right. So we're gonna see this. Could you guys count with us? That it really helps us. So down from 5 towards 1, and sequentially we get it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There I was, back on the growing green fields of Ireland. I saw my bonny
lass there, looking across the fields of wildflowers, gazing at me, seeing the love truly in her eyes as I gazed back.
But it didn't quite seem like the way that she normally would look at me from across the hill. There was a fear in her eyes, and I said, that isn't usual.
So as I grew nearer, I saw that her eyes, usually sparkling green like the grass, was a pale grey, and her eyes, usually blonde like the sun, was a more darker brown. And as I got close, her usual dulcet voice was scary and full of iron.
Growling terror, and as I said, my darling, Jessica, what is wrong? She smiled at me with a strange, toothy grin. And as she grew her mouth wider and wider, I saw the fangs that were where her pearly white teeth used to be. I
knew at that point this was not Jessica, my bonny lass. This was a changeling, a fairy come to snatch me into the other world. So I turned on my tail. I started running as fast as I could. But every time I looked back, it was as if I hadn't moved at all. It was as if I was stuck to the ground with glue
or something like it. And indeed, there was muck. There was all this muck, and I
looked down, and I touched the ground, and I scooped it up, and I was ankle deep in mashed potatoes, so thick that I couldn't move a muscle. And so I stared back at the foul werebeast gazing at me with hungry eyes, and I said to myself, no, I can't go out like this then in ankle deep in mashed
potatoes. So I pulled out a shillelagh and I cut my own leg off. And as I crawled out of the potato pit, just 2 little bleeding stumps for legs. The creature started walking slow as you like, for I could not crawl very quick, you see, because I had just little bloody stumps.
And I thought, well, Christ, I'm gonna have to eat my way out. But there was no gravy.
There was only mashed potatoes. And so I started eating and fighting through the bitter taste of mashed potatoes without gravy. I fought, and I could still see Jessica in the distance, or what I thought was Jessica, and she was just laughing at me, laughing so hard.
And chuckling and laughing and hard, and she walks up to me and says, you like the feast I've prepared? I have plenty of potatoes. The only
thing is, you're going to have to eat all of them. She had planned it this way, and there was
a small baby that she was also going to harm if I didn't eat all of the potatoes. So I swallowed my pride, and I swallowed some potatoes.
And you know that feeling you get on American Thanksgiving when you're so full and you just can't move.
And you start getting sleepy a little bit.
You're tired about it and you feel like you're about to burst at the seams. Well, I pushed through. I knew I had to do it for that baby. I kept shoveling handfuls of mashed potatoes.
And thought, my food, baby, will save the life, baby, until I have it fully developed. So I ate. And
Jessica, the fairy Jessica, started to get a look in her eyes. She was afeard. She'd never seen a mortal man eating this much potatoes. This wasn't
normal to see in a regular day, so much potatoes being digested by one man. And I saw the baby in the distance, and I feasted and feasted and feasted, and Jessica continued to laugh, and she threw the baby into the air. And all I could do was watch the baby fall. And I tried to catch, but I didn't have my legs to support me.
And so it just fell straight
into the potatoes, into the pool of potatoes, and I could not stop eating until I got to the baby.
As I got to the baby, I realized there was a huge funnel in the pool of potatoes where the baby had landed. And the potatoes were going down and down like quicksand. And I realized the baby
is sinking into a secret stash of gravy that was here this whole time.
As I cleared away some more potatoes, like a geyser, straight up into the sky, gravy started spewing left and right.
I was covered, but I was happy. This challenge was suddenly possible.
It was time for seconds, so I started shoveling down more mashed potatoes. I'm gonna get to you, Jessica, I screamed. And I had the baby in one hand and shoveling mashed potatoes in the other.
And the baby took up its little wee hands and started shoveling potatoes itself. And to my surprise,
the baby started to grow with each handful of mashed potatoes. He gained 6 months, a year at a time. He grew hair, he grew tall, he grew strong.
And then I looked at him and saw myself. He had my eyes. He had my bone structure.
And he had my feet. He hadn't beaten them off with a club.
And as I looked at potato baby me,
he lifted me up on my own shoulders, but his shoulders, and he started rummaging through the potatoes towards Jessica. We were going
to end her, and so now 1 3/4 of us, we're gonna
get her like a game of chicken in a pool. I was on his shoulders, and he handed me up my shillelagh, and it was time to go to work. We stomped through the potatoes on our way to Jessica, the beast that called herself Jessica. But
at this point, she had sprouted great dragon's wings. They were scaly and long, had little pointy things at the end, and they were flapping.
And she had a big scaly tail with 3 prongs sticking out of it. And I said, that isn't Jessica or a changeling, it's the devil himself. I was staring right at the great grey eyes of the devil himself. And I looked at him, and I said, devil, I know what you've been doing with these mashed potatoes. And you've been tempting me, and I say nay your temptations. I shall stand here, and I shall resist it.
So I breathed deep within my throat and made myself vomit all the potatoes, and a great stream erupted from my bowels as I protruded the devil starch from my veins. The baby also followed suit. So there was a great deal of vomit and potatoes and gravy everywhere.
It all blended into sort of one dish. It was really indistinguishable from usual Irish cooking. And I shoot my stream. The baby man shot his stream.
And the devil started to fade away because the stomach acid, it turns out, is his weakness. And he began disappearing. And folks, you know, they say there's no I in team, but there may as well be. Me and this baby version of myself getting rid of the devil. I'd never seen anything like it in my
whole life. And so as the devil faded away into a little gossamer puddle of evil, I looked at myself and I said, back to Britain with you, England with you. And like that, it was gone in a puff of smoke. And as I cleared through the steam and the mist, I saw my own bonny lass at the edge of the meadow. Hair pure as
silk, golden flax breezing through the Irish wind.
With that same sparkle in her eye that I knew so well.
The bright green, such as the Irish fields, so beautiful.
So fair. And as I walked towards her, it was almost like slow motion. You could hear the violins playing as I skipped across the field of flowers towards my lass.
On my little stump legs.
And it was just baby me playing a violin behind me, floating by. And I got closer to Jessica.
And I got closer and closer. And I put my hand out on her shoulder as I got close while I reached.
And then she spoke to me. And she said, I'm expecting. And I said, well, that's great news, because I spent all day
eating potatoes, and there's a baby that's me, kind of, but I've had a hell of a day, Jessica. And with that, she tucked me under her arm. I sat about here now on her. We went home. We had potatoes and gravy for lunch or dinner. Thank you.
You want to do something?
Do we have enough time for another, or?
You want to do something?
Is
Yeah,
that-
we got time. Let's do something.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Can we get 2 audience volunteers, real quick?
2 volunteers.
2 volunteers?
Yes.
Yeah,
one.
you?
Come on.
Come on.
She kind of looks like Jessica a little bit, right?
What are you guys' names?
Callie?
Sorry.
Trey!
Callie and Trey, thank you.
Okay, cool. So these 3 guys are gonna play a game. It's called Columns. So at any point, they're gonna be doing a scene for you guys, and they're gonna be lost for words. And at that point, I'm gonna say, "Oh no, I just got my briefcase. Yeah, it's full of," and then they'll look at you.
Nuts.
Nuts! It's full of nuts, macadamias. And then, so at any point, you will be gestured to for a word, and you will supply it to our improvisers. Whoops! As they do a scene. Does that make sense to
yeah.
everybody? Does that make sense to you guys?
Hey, can you guys give me a location that's not found on a map? A what? Candyland. We're gonna see this scene about Candyland in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I've never been to Candyland before, Daddy.
Oh, it's about time you saw it, Jason. You know, I was saving this for the time when you were ready. And
I'm ready.
I think now that you're 10 years old, we can explore the magical kingdom of sugar.
Mommy's here too.
That's right, we brought her along for some reason.
I don't know why.
I was planning a father-son retreat, but
She's not ready either.
But boys, I know my way around here best.
it's true.
And I know the princess of Candyland. Princess Sparkles. Princess
I
Sparkles.
believe that was Princess Sparkles.
Actually, I met your mother at a party thrown by Princess Sparkles when I was just a young man attending a royal candy party. We caught eyes across the chafing dishes, and the rest was history.
Well, Daddy, why don't you lead us the way past the mountain of noodles in
Or I can
Candyland?
lead the way, son. I know it best.
Oh, fine, Mother.
You all? No, you go ahead. You always do know best. Like that time we were in algebra, and you made me feel silly for not understanding the letters with the numbers.
Well, I knew algebra best. But there's the tree, the gumdrop tree. They say if you ever sit under it for too long, you get butterscotch all over you.
I want to go to the butterscotch tree, Daddy.
Okay.
The gumdrop, whatever it is.
Why don't you have a seat under the gumdrop tree?
Okay.
Move along. We only brought one wet wipe. For the 3 of us. And she's holding on to it. Because you're going to be sticky. Especially when you go to the river of mayonnaise.
We're going to the river of mayonnaise?
Yeah,
If you're lucky, son.
Okay.
just don't swim. Don't make the same mistake I made.
Oh, Daddy, I forgot my
Ukulele.
ukulele. God, we're not going to be able to sing our famous song on the mountain of noodles.
Oh, yes, our famous family song. Pickles.
Oh, pickles.
Don't worry, son. I think your mother and I and you can sing it
Right
a cappella.
Okay.
Give us a key, son.
Pickles, 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 pickles. Solo time.
Solo. I once had a pickle. It was a cucumber once. I put it in the vinegar, and now it feels so good. It's in the mouth. It feels so sour. It feels so salty. Take it away, honey.
Dill, bread and butter, they're all pickles to me. Chop them up or eat them whole. Either way, I'm filled with glee and pickles. Glee and pickles.
At that moment, a giant gumdrop golem started to approach the family.
We have one wet wipe. Who gets it as a shield?
You take it, honey. Women and children first. I'll go out ahead and try and distract him.
Dad, you're so noble. Okay. Mom, I'm so sorry for everything, especially that time I threw a cucaracha at you.
It's okay, son. I forgive you. But if something happens to me, I want you to always remember. Meatballs.
I won't ever forget the meatballs,
Don't
Mother.
forget the meatballs, son.
Son, you're a genius. When you threw that cucaracha, where did the cucaracha live? In the gumdrop tree. Merrily, you still have it, right? You
Of
keep it
course.
with you always.
It's right here in my sack. Here is the cucaracha.
I shall take this and throw it deep into the... of the golem.
Yes, throw it, honey. I believe in you.
Go long, golem.
Yeah, okay. And then the golem was vanquished. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mark.
so much.
Yeah.